Hey guys, Theosec here. Yep, here I am again. Now, of course, we always, I would say, pretty much all of us have some dependency, on people and each other to some extent. But, when it gets to an extreme, I mean, just like I was, mostly, I would say, lonely for years. I remember I didn't really get to talk to many people, especially for when I was homeschooled, because we moved from the old town where I had friends. And then when we had moved, I had then become homeschooled. So in this new town that I didn't know anybody at, and at the same time I was homeschooled, I wasn't really making many friends. I remember we were, going to Christian outings at the time, and so me and Eric, me and my brother, we would get to maybe see people sometimes, besides ourselves, but we never really fit in. Of course, a few years later, I kind of recognized the fact that I wasn't really a Christian, obviously. But anyway, so here's another comment here. Of course, I like to talk about comments, don't I? And blogs. But anyway, so this person says to me, it was a reply at one point, 5 days ago. He said, sex may not be a human right, but it sure is a natural human need. Yeah, whatever. And if women were forced to be lonely and rejected like this, like men are apparently, there certainly what would have been a social outcry by now, and men would be called to action. But thanks to the continual double standard, millions of men are left to rot and die miserable and lonely. I'm sorry, but this is just. Oh my god. I wish I could talk to more of you kids like this because, man, if you guys talk to me about this kind of stuff, I'm going to make you feel 10 times better, let me tell you. Because this stuff that this kid's talking about is completely full of it. And I mean that with the greatest respect when I say that. But seriously, man, that is just so. Oh my god. I don't know where these kids are getting this shit nowadays. Anyway. But I told them, life throws crap at us, but nobody is literally forcing us to be lonely. The system might categorize us like cattle, but there's no system forcing loneliness, or any group in particular is forcing loneliness on anybody, including men. There's actually more single women than there are men. Even if every guy had a woman at their side, there would still be single women out there, since they outnumber us 3-1 in the US. I mean, if you look at the statistics, like the actual statistics, they actually outnumber us here in America. And again, like I said, yeah, worry about it, but don't worry about it so freaking much. And I always think it's funny how, I think that sometimes these people, it's more about loneliness that they really are worried about. I think it's power is what they're worried about. So you see, men in recent history used to have this quote unquote power, that's we were able to just basically force women to marry us. Of course, when the man wanted to marry somebody, we always had to talk to the father, before we were able to marry him. But other than that, they were kind of forcibly married to us. And I think, going on and on about that. In short, what I'm trying to say is, men used to kind of have this power, quote unquote, and a lot of men nowadays think that they have had a power taken away from them. Is basically what I'm trying to say. It's not so much that him being lonely is what he's so worked up about. It's about the fact that he feels that a power has been taken away from him. Kind of like when, let's say, a bully beats you up. Sometimes when a bully or even your father, especially, they beat on you, you grow up feeling like, a power has been taken from you. And so sometimes these people will grow up as bullies themselves trying to get that power back, right? And that's exactly what people like this are trying to do. Is they're trying to get that power back that we used to have in recent past. But again, to be frank, there's a reason why we stopped doing it in the first place, and that's because it did not fucking work. For instance, when we were for quote unquote forcibly, making these women marry us like they were in the past, these women tended to cheat on us anyway. Because shit. If I was forcibly married to somebody that I didn't want to be with, I'd probably cheat on them too. Then sometimes they probably liked the guys that they were with, but sometimes they didn't. That, and no offense, but I don't know. If you're really gonna meet people, social media still is kind of a good thing. Just you gotta go to the right places on social media. Excuse me. And I hate to say it, and this is something that I know a lot of older people tend to say, but you do gotta kind of go out sometimes. Even I go out from time to time, and I'm not really much of a going out kind of guy to have fun. You do have to kind of sometimes go out to properly socialize sometimes. Because, just only socializing on a computer or your phone and, smartphone, it just doesn't really seem like it cuts it like it does, I would say the regular way of socializing, I guess I'll call it. Then, there's plenty of times when I don't really care to text. I still prefer to talk to people over the phone, and that actually helps me, to be frank. Yeah, and it takes a lot less focus for me to talk than to, do that on the phone. But I understand for some people that's a little bit different. We have become so available, I guess I'll say. We've become just way too available nowadays with our technology is actually, I think, the real issue sometimes. And, you could literally just, text, somebody at work, go sleep with them, and then be back at home just in time to, get to your wife and kids after cheating on your wife. We have just become just way too freaking available nowadays. But at the same time, it's like we've become unavailable because of it. And yeah, I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you. But yeah, it's just not like it used to be. It just really is not. I still remember back in the days when the internet wasn't even around and it became popular. Also remember the first time I looked up a porno site by accident with my father when me and my father, I was in third grade. We accidentally looked up, some pornography when we were trying to look up, stuff on the White House for a project, on history. And yeah. But of course, enough about that. That being said, I guess I'll just end the video here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.